Hi everybody, and welcome to my first live stream actually of 2019. I'm Sarah Negus, the Modern Day Shaman, and I invite you in my work to go deeply within yourself so that you can really claim your potential, all of the things that you haven't yet acknowledged in yourself. And when you do that energetically, your vibration shifts. And as we know, it's your vibration that attracts the life that you want to live. So it makes sense to continually clean all of the things that you've got going on inside of you out. And today I'm going to be talking to you about the 5 levels of self-mastery, particularly for entrepreneurs, because they are a large part of my client base. And this live stream is inspired by working with somebody today, and this came up. So the way I see it, when you are taking an introspective look at yourself, as the observer, there are 5 different steps that kind of evolve around you. Now, I'm not saying that these are linear. They don't happen one after the other. And some of them happen simultaneously. But what I see is that the first thing is that you have to recognize your behavior. Usually that happens with something triggering you. So it evokes an emotional response in you. It evokes some sort of inner action. And usually that is the first invitation of you recognizing your behavior, your response to an external situation, relationship, or event. The next step is to acknowledge your thoughts within that. So something's happened, you've had an emotional response, and therefore your thoughts start to turn around in your head. You might not recognize them. They might be suppressed thoughts that all of a sudden have come up. They won't be very helpful. They'll usually be reasonably negative about the situation you find yourself in. These are good thoughts because they give you a key. They give you a way in. When you acknowledge your own thoughts and connect them with the behavior that you are experiencing or evoking, you are beginning to claim your own personal power in where you are. Then what you want to do, so your behavior and your thoughts are the keys, if you like, that unlock the door, that take you back into your conditioned self and allow you to look at the deep-seated, usually subconscious belief that you have around yourself. It will be something. You're not good enough. Your value isn't as high as it should be. You're not worthy, or you have to please people in order to be seen. No one listens to you. There'll be all sorts of different levels of self-belief within your recognition of your behavior and your thoughts. So when you accept those beliefs, you've gone through 3 steps in the level in kind of your unraveling of your trigger and an understanding of your own self. So you move towards self-mastery. What tends to happen, and I know it was happening with one of my clients today, is that these 3 things become a continual pattern. It's almost as if you become distracted with your story. Now, that's not to say your story doesn't have power and isn't valid. It is, and it does have power. But it is in the past and you can't change it. What you can change is the way that you behave, the way that you think, and what you believe going forwards. In this place of recognition, acknowledgement, and acceptance, there can be a feeling of distraction. And that feeling of distraction comes in when you are not able to yet accept all that you are. where you're still afraid of what you could be. I know that I have a lot of clients that are very aware of their patterns. For instance, well, that's my childhood pattern, and they own that about themselves. But what they don't do is relinquish their victim energy around that pattern. What they don't do is integrate it. That's the next step. That's step 4. Or harmonize it. That's step 5 in the 5 levels of self-mastery. Now, what happens is their curiosity of themselves closes down. It's almost as if they become a know-it-all of themselves. Oh yes, well, this happened to me when I was a kid, therefore I believe this, therefore I behave in this way, and therefore that's all there is. Their curiosity of anything more shuts down because it's comfortable, it's safe, comfort zone. What I'm suggesting is that you take the next step, 2 steps in the 5 steps of self-mastery, so that you start to integrate a new way of being, which means that you've recognized your behavior, you've acknowledged your thoughts and accepted your beliefs, but you choose to believe something different. And in choosing to believe something different, you empower yourself. You empower yourself to be curious about how you're going to integrate that new decision, that new belief within yourself. Okay, well, I am worthy here. And I don't need to continually behave or respond in the way that I did when I'm a child. I'm an adult, after all. I have power. So you start to be curious about how you can do that. And usually what will happen is lots of situations will come towards you, inviting you to have a new energy around it. And this is the harmonization of the qualities that you have within you in action. Now, any sort of trigger, any sort of old pattern will be a safety net. It will be a survival mechanism, and it will have been created in you in order that you fit in order that you receive some sort of love. Now, if we imagine that the ultimate quality that you have is self-love, it is self-worth and self-value, all and self-belief, all wrapped in together. How can you harmonize that quality of love within you in your next behavior, in your next thought, in your next level of belief? So, somebody recognizes that injustice is a trigger for them. They understand that they think of it a lot. They recognize it outside of them. And they get cross. They have these thoughts, that's not fair, that's not fair, that's not fair. They do a little bit of introspective work and have a look inside themselves, and they understand that that injustice got laid down when they were a child. Maybe that it tracks back further into their consciousness or wider into their consciousness, but they can actually pinpoint a decision that they made in their child, that the world was unjust, and they railed against it. It made them angry and sad. How do they integrate that into their life? Well, the first question I would ask them is, where is it that you are unjust to yourself? Where is it that you don't actually see yourself fully? Where is it that you are unfair with yourself within you? 3 questions, and I'd invite my client to get really curious about those and go away and allow their mind, their higher self, to come through and show them. The harmonization of that is to then choose behaviours and choose thoughts that underpin a new decision, underpin a new belief, that you can celebrate all of you. You can experience everything about yourself in the moment that is available to you now. So you're no longer unjust within you. You no longer belittle yourself within you. You no longer critique yourself. All of these things are not very fair. And you can decide to harmonise much more, and integrate at the same time, actually, much more of your own self-love. What can you do in your action, behaviour and thoughts and beliefs to love yourself more, to find more compassion for yourself, to celebrate yourself more, to be really fair to who you are, to be really just to the heart of you. Now, these are the 5 levels of self-mastery as I teach them in my 12-week mentoring program, private mentoring program. If it touches you, if you think, oh yes, I see myself in the first 3 often spiraling round, spiraling round, spiraling round, I invite you to have a look at how you can integrate new choices in your life and harmonise the qualities that you know you have in yourself but aren't perhaps exploring fully. Stay curious, always. There's always more things to find out about yourself. There's always many more things to integrate and harmonise. That's my mini training for today. I'm Sarah Negus, the Modern Day Shaman. I hope that's been interesting for you, and I will be back soon with some more information just for you. Lots of love. Bye, guys. I'm going to find the end button. Bye.